So yeah, the famous scene that made Sharon Stone famous.
Yeah.
Total Recall. You remember original Total Recall?
Yeah.
But he was slamming Sharon Stone on the.
Yes.
I heard the story that she was. I was reading Arnold's autobiography. He's talking how she was a bit picky about some things, and she was afraid to be hurt or something. She had some phobia, and he had to convince her that he's doing it carefully. About choking. There's a choking scene. So he wrote about it, how she was so scared that she has some injury, old injury, and he said that he's going to be very in a controlled manner. He will choke her slowly. So, actually, fascinating autobiography by Arnold. I learned so many things about him. Yeah, how he, I admire him because he kind of like me came to this country, being nobody and gradually achieved.
Well, he's the epitome of the American dream, isn't he? He came here as a bodybuilder. A weightlifter, really.
Yes.
Bodybuilding wasn't even a thing.
Yeah, he started only.
He kind of made bodybuilding a thing, but he really just came here and he's an American success story. He came here, he was successful in his field, went on to become a movie actor, and then went on to become a politician. And marry into one of the most prestigious political families in the country. I mean, that's a pretty amazing story.
Yeah. But there's much more to his story, which we're not going to cover probably in this video. But
when he comes here and sits down here, you can interview him.
I hope I can interview him one day if he comes to my home and we're like friendly, talking, because I really admired him for years. And people go, he doesn't say much to say, and everybody down, and all that kind of stuff, right? But actually, he's a very smart person, amazing. He's very hardworking. He only slept 6 hours for many, many years. Maybe he's still doing it. He had many businesses. From selling nutritional supplements, bodybuilding, real estate businesses, then started getting more into movie making and stuff. So it's not only one direction. So I'm very impressed with him.
Oh, I'm very impressed with him too. And not even knowing all the details. Just to get to the point that he got in bodybuilding, which was beyond anybody else at that time. Exactly. He had to dedicate his whole life to that. That was his whole lifestyle. It's just what he ate. How much he worked out, and his whole sleeping routine, everything. And
people looked at bodybuilders like kind of scary animals, like they're huge and everything. And then gradually it became more like a fitness, and he even was a fitness czar with Bush, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, amazing stories.
So when he comes here, invite me too.
Okay, you're visiting us, and sure you can be in the audience. You can sit with us, and
maybe I can help you.
In fact, John is one of the first people. I already started interviewing quite a few people in San Francisco that I meet, from a garage sale guy to some maybe homeless people, and now we're advancing to John.
Yeah.
Of course, I skipped a few more characters. There are quite a few characters I filmed, and I will post those videos. Recently, I met a guy who looks like the actor from The Green Mile, who already died, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Huge black guy, right? So I filmed. In fact, he just texted me yesterday. He texted me. He said, "Hey, Alexander, I checked out your page," and he means my video blog, and he says it's super cool. So I was so impressed that he wrote that he's dating a Ukrainian girl, and so I'm excited. I got. Hopefully more people learn about the blog and they find it interesting, educational, entertaining, and not one of those crazy, blogs that's in your face and nervous. I want to have some substance. I want to have stories about San Francisco and share good things and interesting stories with people. And just
I like this format of interviewing people and talking with people, because a lot of these video blogs are just like me. Let me talk about it.
In fact, I don't even show up in some of my videos. Oftentimes I just walk and either talk or show without talking. Sometimes if there's not much to say, I don't want to say anything. Just enjoy the beauty of San Francisco.
Right.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, good.
So what about other stories? You said you have some other stories to tell about either famous people or interesting people. Feel free to share with us.
Okay, I can't think of anything.
Oh, I know. I'm putting you on the spot. Hey, have you seen anybody famous? Robin Williams, you mentioned, jogging around.
You're in San Francisco?
Anywhere in the world.
Oh, sure I have.
Oh.
I must have.
You must have.
We might have to cut this part.
It's okay. Don't worry.
I gotta think, but yeah.
Doesn't have to be an actor or anybody, prominent person.
Do you know who Marisa Tomei is?
Who's that?
Marisa Tomei? Oh, she's an actress. I have a funny story about her, because I was talking to her.
Let's pick up a little because
Oh, okay. So Marisa Tomei, she's an actress. She was in My Cousin Vinny, and she's in some other movies. I'm not a movie buff, but so one day she came into a trade show, and I ended up talking to her because she was a pretty girl, very friendly. We're just talking away, having a great time.
You're holding her by the waist?
No, not quite, but we're definitely having an enjoyable conversation, maybe a little bit flirty, maybe, but, you know, nice. And then somebody comes up and whispers in my ear, "Hey, John, that's Marisa Tomei." And I was like, "Oh, yes, it is. Oh, now I don't have anything to say."
It's because of the mental block, right?
It was totally a mental block. We were
yeah.
getting along so well. And then as
Yeah.
soon as I knew that she was an actress, somebody famous, somebody I've seen on TV, in the movies, I couldn't talk to her anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's like now, you're talking to me, you're so relaxed. But once you see my blog, you're going to be like, "What? I talked to Alexander? I can't believe it."
I'm glad we're doing this now because I might, after I watch the blog, I might not be able to come back and perform for you.
You're going to be mentally, no, but you will enjoy it though, I think you will. And maybe in the future we could even do more of those.
Yeah, it'd be
Hopefully
great.
Time allows and you're
I
coming.
can think of some more stories.
I'm sure you could. So she was in those movies you're saying, Marisa Tomei.
Yeah, my cousin Vinny she's very famous in that movie. But she's in something now, something coming out. So
I need to tell some stories about once I met Evander Holyfield.
Sure.
That's his full name, right?
So you're meeting a lot of big black guys.
Yeah, it's kind of by chance. I didn't talk to him, but I was working at the Rockefeller Center, and I was having a lunch, just walking around. Suddenly I see this huge guy in a really great shape walking. He was walking on a street perpendicular to 6th Avenue. One of those small streets that sells some food and they have restaurants. It's passing Rockefeller Center block. And then I see some other black guy running after the guy, like trying to get an autograph.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Holyfield," and he's like waving like this. He had a cap, I remember, very good shape, like good chest and stuff. And he just stopped. I think maybe he gave him an autograph and kind of kept walking. I just looked and I didn't want to bother him. I didn't know what to say. Now I probably would go and try to ask him, record a little video, a story.
Sure.
And frankly, I don't necessarily want to do it for my own benefit. Like, okay, it's me. But I feel it's interesting to ask people a story, maybe learn about their life, something that beyond and behind the official persona and all this, go into details. I like to get into details. People's lives and fun things.
Everybody's got a story.
Oh yeah, we don't realize it.
No, you don't. You can't tell just by looking. I mean, some people they have a story because they're famous, but everybody's got some stories for sure.
And that's why I love to ask a lot of questions. When I was in the banking school, I got the plaque for the most inquisitive person.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Just don't ask people what they're doing for a living. Ask the second question.
Maybe third one is okay.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a part of it.
That's my brother.
Oh, let's talk to your brother. Yeah, you can talk.
Rob, what's up?
Tell him he's been in a video now.
I'm in a video interview right now. What are you up to? No, what are you up to? How smart? Just tell me about his son. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah.
Will patiently wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a tricky one. All right. Okay. You there with Duncan too? All right. All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
So the lesson from this, folks, is when your brother calls, pick it up. Even if you're in the middle of a press conference, a White House event.
Family calls, you never know.
Exactly. That means you care about your family. That's great.
I hope so.
I appreciate that myself because
Yeah.
family is very special.
Maybe I'll ask you a few questions since we can catch up a little. How do you like being in the district? What's your impressions versus the Richmond district where the Japanese cowboy lives? What kind of cowboys you have out here?
We got more like maybe Mexican cowboys. And, it's a little bit different crowd. It's much warmer neighborhood.
Yeah,
surprisingly.
I feel that.
We see the beautiful view. You see the view. We already talked about it.
On the video, there's a wall of fog, but it's a mile away. So
yeah, it's really nice. That's where the sunset is going on. That's where the mountains are and the ocean. this neighborhood is warmer than Richmond district. It's much less fog. So fog is floating all around, and as we know, San Francisco has microclimates, right?
Yes.
Which I couldn't believe when I moved here. How is it possible geographically and physically and nature-wise?
And it's only 7 miles by 7
So
miles.
about 49, yeah.
So, but within that 7 by 7, there are different climates.
Although I gotta say, 49ers were not named after 49 square miles. No.
But it's kind of appropriate.
But, yeah, it was 1849, right?
That's right.
The gold rush. So I learned all this. It took me years and years to learn it. But yeah, it's warmer here. It's a lot of affordable food, and public transportation is great. You can go anywhere within San Francisco. If you drive, though, within 30 minutes or so, you can cover the city and go to a particular direction, particular spot. That's great. Strategic location close to highways.
Yes.
I like that. And then daily cities nearby for other things and restaurants and Asian cuisine and Ecuadorian, Salvadorian, Guatemalan, Mexican, of course.
Is there any Russian cuisine out here? I don't think so.
No. Unfortunately, it's a lack of. Richmond district had Russian cuisine, Russian grocery stores. Here, we ain't got much. I miss that. I miss that because sometimes we go and buy some, groceries at least, or maybe something cooked. There are a few places in Richmond district. Some are owned by Armenian families. Some are other, Russian-speaking people.
Are there Ukrainians out here?
There are some Ukrainians. I met a few, not too many, but
New York has a lot of Ukrainians. That's why I asked.
Yeah, there's a place in New York called Odessa, I think.
Sure.
It's a little fakeish, I think. The reason I say it is usually I judge the restaurant by the waiters, wait staff. If the staff is of the country of the cuisine, if it makes sense what I mean. So if they represent the same country, if they are born in the country that the dishes are of,
right,
that means it's authentic. So if you see Russian waiters in a Russian restaurant, there's a chance it's pretty decent.
Right.
Ukrainian, etc., etc. But if you see American waiters in a Ukrainian restaurant, there is a slight chance maybe they're Ukrainian Americans, but probably not as high chance. And they do have some cuisine there, some piragi and some other things, but it's not super authentic. As for example, Dядя Vanya, where I celebrated my birthdays, they're like Russian waiters who barely speak English, or they speak English, but they're like very typical.
What's that called?
Dядя Vanya.
Where's that?
Dядя Vanya. Dядя means uncle in Russian. Vanya is the name, and I think it's after a famous book by Chekhov, maybe a story. Dядя Vanya.
What about Veselka? They have Russian or Ukrainian way, or is that? Yeah.
I'm not sure. The Veselko, I think Odessa I went to, that was a bit fakeish. Veselka I haven't checked out.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But when you go there, see if they have an accent when they talk to
They
you.
do. They all do.
Oh,
so that's why I think that place is authentic.
Could be. That could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But have you been to the parks over here? You got a giant park, McLaren Park.
Oh, we got some secret. I've already made several videos about that. I walked there. It's beautiful, like a real park, like a real forest, in fact. Yeah.
You got to watch a movie called Bullet.
Bullet.
It's Steve McQueen stars in it. Has one of the greatest movie car chases of all time, and that's not my opinion. You'll see that on many surveys on the internet about car chases in the movie. And a lot of it takes place in McLaren Park.
No way, car chase, because there's not too many roads. I mean,
No,
there is
there's one road that winds up to the top and then goes back down. So you got to watch Bullet, and that's a famous movie. And there's a lot of car chase scenes all over the city.
Thank you, John.
But it ends up in McLaren Park.
I will definitely do that, and then I'm gonna go back to those places, McLaren Park. It's only like 6 minutes away from me here, and I can just drive very fast. It's a beautiful park. I love it so much. Like some places,
it's not even like it's not a park like Central Park. It's more like you said, like a
forest.
Yes, yeah, it's just like the woods.
It's awesome.
There's one or two roads through there. It's just like it's amazing that it's right here in the city.
I have quite a few stories about this park already. One is when we went with my wife and family. We were there at night. We tried to get out, but there's a block. What is it called?
So the arm.
Yeah, the arm. I mean, it was locked, closed. I mean.
Oh.
So we thought that's it. We're not gonna get out because the park closes at 9 p.m. I think.
Okay.
We couldn't get out, but fortunately, I lifted it up.
Oh, you did?
It's all armament training. Yeah, I lifted it up, and then we drove out, and I put it back. That's one story. Then I have a whole bunch of other stories. I lost my balloon there once. I was filming it. I had a boomerang that flies in a circle.
Wait a minute. Can we just back up a second?
Yeah.
You mentioned balloon.
Yes. Oh!
Did you ever watch the movie?
No.
The Red Balloon?
Thank you for suggesting it
It's
through
only 30
Facebook.
minutes long.
I will.
It's an Academy Award winner. And I was reminded of it because I saw your daughter with the
Yes.
red balloon.
Yes, and I will include that picture probably in this video.
And actually, after I saw your daughter on Facebook with the red balloon, I went to the video. I went to the movie and I watched it. It's only 30 minutes long.
Thank you.
And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. So, in a way, you brought the movie back for me.
I am glad.
With that picture.
It's an old movie, 56 or.
Late 50s or
Yeah.
early 60s, something like that.
See, I really like those details. Thank you for. I will check it out. Yeah. I need to. When I watch this video again, when I edit it, which is gonna take me a while. Hopefully not much. I'll just post it, maybe in several pieces.
Yeah, maybe.
But I definitely want to know because early, in fact, before John arrived, I was sitting and going through Wall Street Journal. In fact, behind John, my dear viewers, we have a huge stack of Wall Street Journals. Look, that
Wow.
I kind of. I don't know, in the pipeline, as they say in business language, to be read, or frankly, I just look at the most recent stuff and I take out review sections, etc.,
Yeah.
such as this. You know, for example, we've got Mansion, which is, you know, for people, if you want to get depressed and look at $1 million properties and, you know, you look at this, right? But otherwise, who cares, right? Here's Arena, this is what I care more. Arena and review about movies, about
This is
stories.
entertainment, movies, TV, theater.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So there's some, I dig out those more valuable sections about art and culture and try at night sometimes to read a few, and you would be amazed. For me, like to read even this one little section, it's so much information. Unless you are a very fast reader, it takes me maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes or more, and I'm like, I start reading into all the little details. Especially review sections are very, very interesting and detailed.
Well, that's a good paper, and when you got a good paper like this or the New York Times, when you can spend half the day just getting through one day's paper. They're good.
Do you read New York Times? Yeah.
I read just bits and pieces now on the internet because, like I said, you can get sucked into that for hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
By the
really.
way, the reason I started telling you viewers about this Wall Street Journal story, I didn't even finish my thought yet, but because I have side stories all the time, like that are kind of related, but I not gotta stay on course in this case. So I was, before John arrived, I was just earlier reviewing some stuff about the Reverie. There's a famous movie on YouTube that was made by DSLR camera and high definition video just came out in Canon. So I was curious, I'm kind of, because I'm making videos now, and in the future I plan to upgrade my channel, get better equipment. If there are contributions coming, hopefully from people, if not, you know, I'll try to save it on my own. But the thing is, and also I was reading an article, the review article about various movies by a Chinese-Taiwanese director. So, because I'm not going to remember the names, I kind of note the names of the movies. And one is called something about the Neon Gods, something about Taiwan and Taipei. So I noted the name and I wrote down to myself some notes about movies to watch and to search for later on.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's quite interesting.
you've got Bullet, got the red balloon, and earlier before we went on camera, we were talking about Dirty Harry.
Yes, Dirty Harry, I have
which
to
is
watch
a
still.
very famous San Francisco movie
Mhm.
with Clint Eastwood, who's a San Franciscan.
Since we're talking about movies, what are your favorite movies, John?
Generally, I like suspense, thrillers, mysteries. I really enjoy Alfred Hitchcock, that kind of thing, where there's some sort of suspense, drama, but there's also mystery. You're not really sure why things are happening or exactly what is happening. Those are my kind of movies. I also enjoy, some action movies.